speak on it with who you with, Curtdog.
Welcome to the show. Let's get this party started.
I'm out. I'm out.
Hopefully, y'all had a great day
I'm
today.
out. I'm out.
It wouldn't
Welcome
be
to speak. I'm
allegedly
out.
because he
Welcome to
was
speak. I'm
charged.
out. Welcome to speak. I'm out. Welcome to speak. I'm out.
Why, those
Welcome to
must be
speak. I'm
some
out.
good wings.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with, Curtdog?
Welcome to Speak on It, Curtdog. I'm Curtdog. Hopefully, y'all having a great day so far. It's Saturday. Yes, we are live tonight. Saturday Night Live with oops, I don't know why I say the best of Curtdog on the what's the name, but we are live. So go ahead and get your drink. Let's do this thing, and y'all know what time it is. My girl is waiting in the wings. Miss Risky is in the house on a Saturday night. We about to do this thing tonight because we got some stuff on our mind. Welcome to the show. T Cal is in the house. Said, hey, Curtdog. What up, T Cal? I know we've been MIA for a minute. A lot of stuff going on. So, but we here. She said, hello, Miss Risky. So we are back in the house live tonight. But I want to do a PSA to all my brothers and the sisters too. Um, Definitely take your health. Um, your health is very important. Um, go get your annual checkup, get your PSAs, and also your I said get your PSA, your prostate check, and also your uh, colon checked also, because cancer is going real rapid, and it's best that you find out ahead of time and not once it's too late. So definitely get it done. You paying all this money for your insurance, put it to work. Let's get it done. And it's very important to try to stay in good health because your loved ones want you to be around a little while longer. Hell, I want to see you around a little while longer. So, but definitely take your health seriously and get it done. But I'm not gonna make my little sister wait no more. She putting her lip gloss on. You ready? You ready? Give me a thumbs up or something. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Miss Risk. What's going on?
Nothing much, looking all homely and comfortable today. No
Hey, I
wigs and
feel you.
braids, just free.
I feel you. It's been a rough week. How was your week?
This is the longest week ever. It like took 2 weeks just to get to Friday. I was like, it's so much going on.
Yes, it is.
And we're finding out some information in the workplace, so it's just like crazy doodle.
Well, it's always changes, and
No, it's not
sometimes.
changes. It's just like we just found out some things. Like, it's the end of the year. Well, it's the beginning of the year, and it's time for your KPIs, or your reviews. And we found out that our counterparts, the white counterparts,
Uh
how like in school when you get graded and you get points for just putting your name on a paper.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's all they have to do. All they have to do is take their testing modules, and they get full bonuses and guaranteed pay increases. Now we have to hold on. Where's my scroll? Not only do payroll, timekeeping, you know, garnishments, customer service, counselors. We have to do everything. And at one point, we were like the A team, and we still didn't get full bonuses and increases. And all I have to do is write their name on the paper. Oh, I did my training modules in a timely manner. Hey,
Bonus.
yeah, they get like thousands of dollars, like up to $15,000 in bonus
Mm. And y'all get a
shekels.
Starbucks card.
Well, no, I only got that because I put my Cash App on one of the emails because they were taking me through, and I was like, listen, at this point, y'all need to either put money on my Cash App I also like Starbucks and Chipotle. And then the next day I had a Starbucks card on my desk. But I
Oh,
guess they figured that was my bonus. I was like, no, no, sorry.
you need something to relieve all that stress. It's terrible having to go into a hostile work environment and have to deal with extra BS, and then you got to drive home in truck and traffic and deal with some.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, because it's like, it's basically we're the redheaded stepchildren, the dark side, because all of us in payroll and accounting are black. But there's a clear line. And even throughout the company, you see senior employees like been there 15, 10, 20 years, only got one increase from like $14 an hour to $15 an hour in like 15 to 20 years. But then their team leads who are white are coming in at 21, $25 an hour.
Mm.
Where they do that at?
And
Like
you in a higher
we're
position,
losing
more
good people.
responsibility.
Yeah. And they don't care. And it's like you can clearly see it.
Well, it's jacked up either way it go
Yeah.
because that's why we say the pay gap, not only between um, not only between the difference between men and women, but also the pay gap between race. You could be highly educated, have all these degrees, and then because of the color of your skin, they're not going to pay you your worth.
Right.
And then they'll mess around and pay somebody who have a GED come in, no experience, and pay them more.
Hmm.
That's some BS right there by itself.
But
So,
we have to have 30 years experience and a degree just to get the same position. It's like it's just not right. It's
so,
ridiculous.
so you saying you got to come out the womb with
Like for real.
experience,
I mean,
experience
they
for
come
what you're
out the
doing.
womb with a 730 credit score. We come out the womb slaving, trying to get our hustle on.
Exactly, which is really crazy to me. It shouldn't be that type of pay gap, and all Americans should get paid a fair wage. If
Right.
you are
And it should
working,
be
you should get
equal.
paid a fair wage, living wage, not this. Now everybody talking about, oh, we'll pay you $15 an hour, but now gas is high as hell. Food is extremely high. Um,
Rent
$15 not gonna
went
do it
up.
now.
What was it? Rentals, apartment rentals went up 20%.
Yeah. How can
But
we afford that?
right.
And don't think about the housing market. I've have people that I know personally that had looked into buying houses a while back, and they was like, I can't do it now.
Yeah, it's super inflated. It's
I
super
can't
inflated.
do
Like
it.
people are paying like 50,000 to 100,000 over asking price just to get into these homes.
And I guess I had had a friend. This happened a while back. They was looking for a home, and which is great. And the neighborhood they was looking in, the house that they was looking at, it was like almost 700,000 in this neighborhood. But all the other houses in that neighborhood was only worth like 225 to 275, maybe 300. But you want to purchase a house in that type of neighborhood for that price, and it's a small subdivision. You going into this house and at a loss because there's nothing else around that house that is worth that much. I don't even know if the school across the street was worth that much for the simple fact that's an old school.
Yeah, you got to keep it, relative to the neighborhood because it's like you can't have like a $1.5 million house in the midst of $250,000 houses. It doesn't make sense just because you do upgrades and do whatever. It's like you gotta also take into account the neighborhood.
Yep. In the neighborhood because it'll start off looking great on paper. Oh, I got this. $500,000 house. It looked good.
Hmm.
But as time go on, if that neighborhood does not come up to speed like these other, like your home, your value of your home gonna go down.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to sell and you're going to take a loss.
That resale value is gonna be a mud because you're not gonna get what you paid for it.
And I
You
think
just
at this
won't.
point, because we're inundated with a bunch of California migrations, they're hiking up the price because they need places to live, and of course they have state and federal tax, and then they come over here and it's like, oh, it's a deal, so they're willing to pay extra because it's nothing to them. They get more bang for their buck.
Exactly.
And then the natives, we're here to suffer because now we can't get into those homes.
Exactly.
Like even in the poor neighborhoods, it's like you can't even go to a poor neighborhood because they've gentrified it, and you can't afford it. It's like 300 plus to 500 plus townhomes. It's like where the poor people supposed to go? Jobs are
Yeah.
still the same. Nobody's getting raises except the executives. You
The
know, and,
executive and the
and we have
privilege.
so many VPs in our company. It's like, do we even have enough workers for them VPs? Like you just come in a VP
Mm.
and then leave.
So and let me try to break it down to what Miss Risky was saying about people from California. And we have nothing against California. I have family live out there, whatever, fam. Um, and I have friends out there. But here's the key to kind of break simply down for maybe you can understand it. Um, Here it is in California. We know California is very expensive, but here's the key. You go to California, you may be living in a two-bedroom, one bath house that is worth almost $1 million or more. You sell that house, but they can afford that in California. You sell that house, you come somewhere like Texas, and you see where the house is 300 or 400,000, but you really like this house, and you offer more for that house just to get it. That's going to raise the market value up, the home buying value up because people are offering way more money, and
And
it's
then
okay.
also companies are moving to Texas. California,
Exactly.
companies are moving their corporations and headquarters here, and of course that brings more people, and now you got to have more homes to accommodate the influx of the people, being hired and moving with their jobs. So it's like we're facing all these pressures and these burdens, and we're still stuck with our same, $15 an hour jobs and hustling and trying to just pay make rent.
And another thing, a lot of people are moving here to retire because it's so much cheaper to
Yeah,
live here compared to California. And I kind of give you a prime
yeah.
example.
Anywhere with no sales tax or state tax, that's where
State
they're
tax.
moving to.
Yeah. Kind of give you an example. Uh, met this couple not too long ago that just moved from California that moved here. Well, they were saying it was hard for them to afford a one-bedroom apartment, but they moved here and they got them a pretty nice home. You couldn't afford the one-bedroom apartment in California, but here it's like, oh, we living good. We have a home now.
Yeah, we got a
So
whole
that's
house.
exactly nice house too. But that's what we're talking about. So I guess the question will be on that, how can we get out of this? What would happen? What would help people out? Um, Maybe cutting student loans.
And they need to do something and stop deferring these the interest and deferring us from paying because it's not doing any good. It's like we're just postponing the inevitable because at a certain point when they and it expires and then we have to pay our student loans back, guess what's going to happen? Interest rates going to go up. I guarantee you the interest rates are going to go up. And so now the people who, you can't be like on what was it? You can't write it off and just declare
Bankruptcy.
bankruptcy because
Yeah.
student loans isn't a part of that yet. Like you still got to pay your student loans, and people can't afford that, and rent, and gas and all.
Food.
Like it's with our livable wage. Like these wages are not livable. And then we saw something, like in the news, talking about how in the Texas A&M is offering um, some their students from the Ukraine free tuition. Now, over there, it's only 14 students that would get it, but there are other colleges who are offering this aid um, uh, or this funding as a part of their AIDS or grant program to help them. And then recently, Biden signed this $1.5 trillion spending bill, which includes 13.6 billion in aid to the Ukraine. Like, why? Why are we sending all our money over there? Like, we need to take care of home. And
Take
then
care of home first.
right. And then at the same time, I was like, why does that number sound familiar? Well, I'll tell you why. Because, all this talking about student loan relief that he hasn't done, like they stated that the cost to forgive 100% of student loan debt, $1.6 trillion. So the money, and they always say, oh, we don't have the money to do this. But you're sending it overseas. Like we have the money. Like the government will always find the way to pay for what helps benefit them. And I guess, helping their, constituents with their student loan debts and easing the burdens of all these extra bills and the spending that we have to just for just our lives, they just they just want to, I guess, make money off the blood, sweat, and tears of their American people and just, you know, brush our issues under the rug. But yeah, to even forgive up to $50,000 in student loan debt would just be $1 trillion. So Biden, listen, homie, you got to do something to help us out, especially since employment rates or wages are not going up, but everything else is inflated like times five. Like how many raises have we had, or how many times has the minimum wage been increased? Like three, four times? Like I don't even know what
Mm,
we're up to now. I think
I
are they up to $15 now?
I don't
But
I
it's
don't
been
I can't
seven.
even tell you.
Yeah, it was like $7 or $10 for the longest time, but everything keeps inflating, and then companies keep saying the same line. Oh, but if we, increase the employees' wages, we're gonna have to increase, our merchandise and our food and all this stuff. Well, you've already been doing that. What's your excuse, now?
It's
Like that's
actually
been inflated.
it's actually 7.25 in Texas minimum
Yeah, and
wage.
yeah, and in California, I think it's like 10.25, or I think they had an increase recently. Let me see. California minimum wage. Looks like it's $14 an hour.
So double amount.
But
Almost.
the cost of living over there is like way higher, and they have state taxes. But even still, that eats that up, like with like no problems. But yeah,
Uh,
it doesn't make sense. But oh,
well, they say if they have more than 26 employees, they must pay them at least $15 an hour.
and that's still, that's the, you
That's
can
still
barely get
not.
an apartment. Like you got to have roommates.
Welcome to the show, Miss Donna. Uh, exactly. You're exactly right. They could if they want to. Matter of fact,
Right, they
I
just
sent
don't.
I sent you something earlier this week, Miss Risky, about California had put a salary cap, how much uh, they would have to pay out for reparation in California. It just came out the other day. Um, I don't know which site.
I know they've always been talking about it, and they've been like the United States government has been discussing reparations since forever. Like I think they brought it up in 2000 again. It keeps coming to the floor. Like they keep presenting reparations, but then it keeps like gets swept under the rug because no one wants to. They want to keep us down. Like they make more money on poor people than they do in promoting, middle. What is it? The middle class, and because that would bring us up considerably and close that wage gap. And then what happens when they if they were to give us reparations? Well, guess what? Now we're educated, we're creating businesses, and we can create our own economy. That's something they don't want because we've seen it time and time again in history. Whenever we come up and start doing for ourselves, we get bombed, we get raided. Something always happens because we become self-sufficient, and we keep the money within, and that's what they're afraid of. Or some people are taking it overseas, and doing business over there. And they don't want that to happen. They want to keep us here in the same spot, in the same space. They don't want to see us succeed because, like I said, they will always find the money to pay off some. Because if there's a war, oh, $13 trillion, like just like that. But pay some reparations that'll probably cost. What did we say the number was? Um, uh,
One
to
point.
give people like $1.5 million each. It was what was it 17 trillion? I think it was
Something
17.
like that.
It was
Um,
something like that, and like the numbers per uh, black head of household or whatever, however they broke it down, descendant of slave. But it's like we've already spent that in Ukraine aid. Uh, And what else did we do? The stimulus checks. And if you had like 15,000 children, they gave you extra money for that. Unemployment, like they have the money.
and
They
then
have
on top of that, you got to look at uh, they sign different bills like every month, every other month, or something. But also, this this is the reason why we need a vote, because I don't know if you heard about it. We didn't even talk about this before. Heard about the uh what was it? The alleged sex drug orgy going on in the White House.
I didn't hear
Oh,
that.
Miss Donna said they still owe us. They sure do. They definitely owe us. We need our
Like
money.
times 10, and they know it. Like even if
Uh,
you just gave us our 40 acres and a mule, take the average and interest and whatnot, run us our money. You can't renege on something that was in place, and then some dude comes in and say, the Trump of the 1700s. He's like, you know what? We're gonna wipe that away. Whatever he said, we're not gonna do. No, like we built this land. We died for this land. Like we work for free, and the only time, and I've said this before, when they started putting us down and calling us names and lazy and all this stuff, is when we stopped working for free. That's when all that happened. And they're still doing it because that's the only way to try to keep us down, and that they can still have power over us.
exactly. I'm trying to find that story. It came out the other day. I first heard it on the reel. They had said something about it. Not the real, the view. Ooh, the real not even on no more. Is it?
I don't
Anyway,
know
the view.
watch any of those shows.
I first heard about it on the view, and I'm trying to find that story, and I'm gonna send it to you. But I thought I did send it to you. I may have
You probably
texted it
did,
out.
but
I know I sent a lot of stuff.
I'm like my
Um,
niece. I don't search for stuff. Like
let's,
I'll find a couple of things, and that's what I'm gonna stick with.
um, so I'm trying to think. Okay, I'll look for it in a minute. But it was one of the Senate that was that was there, and it was rumored that he was involved with it, cocaine, and allegedly. We're gonna say allegedly because we wasn't there. We don't know for sure. Allegedly involved with sex orgy and cocaine parties.
That's
And
so
I'm trying.
80s.
Yeah, but it was so recent.
I know.
It was.
They're still reliving their youth.
And speaking of that, let me go back because while you was talking, I was talking about something else. Don't forget the runoff election is coming up May 24th in Texas. So definitely, if you're not registered to vote, still get registered.
I see
Uh,
my aunt's on there. Hey, Auntie Karen.
said Miss Donna said, I don't really like dogs. Give me my money. I don't want no more. I feel you. I mean that money. Uh, hello, Miss Karen. First time seeing you on the show, Sherlock. I know some Sherlocks. Um,
Sherlock.
Sherlocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, thank you for coming to the show, for tuning in. Don't let it be your last time. Go ahead and like it on Facebook. Click the notification for when we come on live. You can tune in and be a part. You can also live chat with us, just like we're doing now. For anybody else that's tuning in and um, not chatting with us, we are live tonight. I know it's been a while, but we are live.
You
Um,
should have been on yesterday.
why you got to bring up old stuff? uh, Miss Karen said Roger Stone said the story was true. Um, and I'm trying to think of that guy's name because I read it yesterday and I was like, hey, I'm not paying attention to you because we ain't talking about that one. At least not right now. But yeah, so that's our tax money. That's our tax money. I could just imagine. Well, I'm not gonna say that because of what we finna go into. Yeah, I say. I could just imagine if they drug test a politician.
They wouldn't pass.
What's going on? Radio Chaos is up in
Hey,
the house straight
radio.
out of Canada. What's going on, radio? Hopefully you doing good. Yes, we are live tonight. It's a Saturday night, and we're talking some some mess tonight. Thank you for always tuning in and supporting the show for pretty good while. So I appreciate it. We are live tonight, so we're trying to kick it up. We supposed to have been coming on last night, but we didn't make it. Uh,
We?
we didn't make it.
I was
Uh,
all set to go.
I can picture that because if allegedly, allegedly, if you look at his eyes, the way they be up sometime, and when he get to talking, I can picture that. I really can. What's wrong with you, Rick? Oh,
Oh, I
I'm
was looking
sorry.
at a story.
Oh, I was looking at my monitor up there and it's showing you like this. I'm like, don't worry about it
Yeah, I was
though.
looking up the sex drama, and then I was trying to figure out, I was like, is this dude in a wheelchair? Talking about he
Yes,
was invited
exactly.
to a orgy. First of all, I had to figure out how to spell orgy because I've never been a part, so that's not a part of my life. I was
Yeah,
like,
so
how do you
that's out
spell
of your
orgy?
vocabulary.
O-R Google, you know what I'm talking about.
Siri, you answer everything else. Why you didn't answer this?
I was like, all right, I
Uh,
figured it out.
yeah, Miss Karen. Miss Karen said who it was.
Hmm.
Uh,
Madison
exactly.
Cawthorn.
Talking
Cawthorn?
about he was on a podcast, the conspiracy podcast or something,
Hmm.
and brought it up on there, and they just ran with the story. He said he'd seen it, so allegedly, hell, it's not allegedly because it's been proven, which is not a surprise to me. Now, Oh,
Mhm.
I wonder if Cruz was part of
Cruz probably brought it.
it. That's why
He
you were
knows
going to
some people. That's why
Mexico.
he was flying across the border.
That's why you were going to Mexico.
He brought the good, good. Oh,
Hey,
I'm just, playing. I really don't know if he brought cocaine across the border. However, it
allegedly.
would be funny. He would
Al-
actually have his assistant do that, I'm sure.
Yeah, his hands won't be caught in it. You know, I haven't been back on Twitter since earlier yesterday. I'm gonna say early up in the day yesterday. Yeah, but I seen your buddy had tweeted out some stuff.
My buddy, I don't have
Uh,
any buddies.
oh, I see what you put on on Twitter. Uh, our soon to be former governor. Hopefully, if y'all get out and vote, please get registered to vote. We need to get rid of this clown. Um, so need to get rid of all of them. So get registered to vote for we can um, change some things up in Texas because they don't care about us. Um, but yesterday I had seen he put something on talking about what's his name again? Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott had put something on Twitter and was talking about Biden and all of this, and I'm like, So I replied to him. I said, well, that's why it's so important for us to vote come November to get you out of office. So he probably blocked me again, but he don't realize there's a law in Texas. Um, a politician not supposed to block somebody because you don't like their response. You work for us. So we're gonna make a difference. Radio said Cruz seemed high during the confirmation hearing for judgment.
Now
That's
he's on
another
that
thing.
Adderall.
He probably he probably was on something where he kept yelling, and then when he got finished, he started turning around and he was on. It was came out that he was searching for his name on Twitter
Yeah,
to see what type of
if he was
response he was
trending or
getting.
something.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
like,
think he's on. I think people like him are on like prescription drugs because it's classier to get it prescribed by a doctor, even though it's the most addictive drugs out there. But I think he's probably on Adderall. That's what the elite people be doing, and then
and
and opiates.
I almost broke my TV when he was talking about asking her about the critical race theory
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Well, first of all, from people talking about the history, you're trying to keep people from talking about the history of what their ancestors have gone through to stop the chain, to keep it from preventing again, and you want to call it critical race theory. These are
first they'd
facts.
have to admit they're wrong, and then they would have to actually pony up, because that's the only way things are going to change with the laws. Because we got these new laws coming out protecting Black people again, and we got
Bullshit.
so many bills and amendments protecting us, but they're not enforced. That's the problem. They're not enforced because nobody cares. Like when it comes to someone with darker skin, they don't care. They want to keep us down here.
Well,
Like,
I've asked this question many times. Why do we have to put a race on any laws that is violating somebody's civil right? It
exactly. The
shouldn't
law is the
be a
law.
race. It's the law.
If
Enforce the
you pop
law.
me in the face, you should be arrested.
Exactly.
You shoot me, you should be arrested for assault. It just makes no sense. Like
None
we got all this
whatsoever.
stuff coming out, and it's like you're still segregating. Like it shouldn't be. Oh, we have an Asian, violence law, or
Hate crime law.
hate crime and the lynching law. We don't need all these. Just violence. Period. Stop it. You
Well,
will be
what
penalized, and let's enforce it.
I understand about you have to have hate crime laws, but how about just doing the right thing? You know what you're doing is wrong. Hold these folks accountable. That's all to it. That's just like the ones that attacked Capitol Hill last year, January 6th. But here it is, they fighting and saying it's they right and all of that. Treat them like you would treat any other terrorist. To the hell with that. Treat them
Domestic
like you would treat
terrorism is
any
the
other
worst.
terrorist.
We have more terrorists homegrown than over there. And again, we have a I don't know. It's like an art form. The United States has a way to deflect attention from what's going on in America, and then they
Exactly.
hear catch wind over there, and they're like, "Oh no, but they're the terrorists. Them brown skins with the little turbans. Those are the ones that are coming and hurting us." But no, if you look at history, most of them have
Timothy
light
McVeigh.
hair and light eyes. No, they look like you. You
Timothy
know, was it
McVeigh.
Timothy McVeigh,
Oklahoma
right?
City bombing.
I mean, and then you have like the school shootings. They don't look like us. But no, but they have mental defect. And that's the
To the hell
problem
with that.
because right, they are not they understand now, oh, they can claim insanity or, get like lesser charges if they say, "Oh, I was abused as a child. Oh, I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, I shouldn't be punished with the real criminals." And that's the problem. No, you get 20 years, you assaulted somebody, you killed somebody, go away. And we'll work on
Exactly.
your mental health in the prison system.
Now, and I was debating if I was going to say this or not, but I'm gonna say it because we're going to keep it real. Um, for the last week or so, we've been hearing about Travis Reed. Um, that's the military personnel that is in a Russian jail, currently in a Russian jail. Been there for a couple of years now, and I believe the family just met with President Biden yesterday. I believe I'm not quite sure, um, but the thing is, I hate he's in Russian jail at this moment, but you have to look at the reason why.
Exactly.
The reason why. I understand you're a former military, and there's a couple of them over there. You former military, but here you are, and this goes for anybody, regardless if you're in the military or not. You go to another country, you need to abide by those rules. You need to know the laws of those country. If you're going to be staying there for a long period of time, or even going on vacation, it's not the same laws like it is here. And unfortunately, this young man uh, went out to a party, got drunk, at the food, got arrested. Then the police said they assaulted him. So now he's facing with 9 years in a Russian prison. Well, first of all, I know for me, I'm not going to put myself in a situation why I'm away from my home. Because if you leave your home, go outside your doors, and you get drunk and act a fool, that's you. You taking that risk. But also, um, any of my friends will tell you, it's not too many times when we go out together, I'm a drink because I need to know what's going on at all times. Um, I just don't do it. But here it is, you're in a whole nother country, a
Different set of
whole nother
laws and
country,
regulations.
and you're a military personnel. And
And
I
he should have
hate.
known better.
Exactly. I hate you in this position. And they said his girlfriend invited him to come to this party, and they was drinking Russia vodka. Well, I've had Russia vodka. That ain't nothing but rubbing alcohol. That
Well,
shit
the
is
good stuff
strong.
is real smooth, but it'll hit you.
Oh, well, I normally try that little bottle you get at the liquor store like that. That shit is strong. It'll have you laid out. Miss Karen said after Dell and Ruth shoot up a black church. They bought him a hamburger because
Yeah,
he
they
was
were hungry.
hungry.
Hmm.
Because he was hungry. And to piggyback on that, I just read a story yesterday. That was going to be Wednesday.
Excuse
Ooh,
me.
bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Man, bless you.
These
Uh,
horrible stories I'm allergic to. They're
so
affecting my allergies.
so yesterday I was reading a story where this brother had spent 9 years in prison and haven't been charged yet. Now here's the key. He went over to a friend's house. Um, I guess they had like a Halloween party or something, and kind of find out somebody ended up raping and strangling this young lady to death. Well, he was the only black person at this party. Say, I don't go to parties like that. I'm sorry. I love everybody, but mm-mm, I'm not going to where I'm the only black person at a party. Won't do it. No, no, no. But anyway, he went to this party. Uh, Young lady ended up getting murdered. Cop look at the picture, see that it was only one black person there, and automatic called him the suspect, even though it was other DNA on a tampon that was taken out of her body. That was not the brother DNA, and there was other DNA on her body, but the only one they looked at was the black guy, and he spent 9 years in prison.
And
Didn't
we've
even
talked
do
about this before, the boogeyman effect, how
it.
they have to have a villain in all their stories to make them feel better. And we're it. And because we can see this is not changing, we're singled out.
Exactly.
So
And
it's crazy. But, going back to people acting a fool in other countries, because that just reminded me of the situation where a little white boy went to Singapore, acted a fool in the 90s. And I remember this because it was a big to do, because it was like national news. Like they were trying to get this boy back because he was tagging different areas. And Singapore was like, oh no. So your punishment is going to be caning. Like they cane you. And he was sentenced to like 6 lashes. And the government's like, oh, no, 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 no. You can't whip this boy. And you definitely can't do that because we all searched the videos and what caning was. And it's like they take like these bamboo sticks and just
ooh,
whip you across the back. Like
boy,
it's
that's not
brutal.
good.
It's like we had switches, and these are big switches. It was all flexible and just wrapped around his body. But I think they ended up working out something with him. But they were like, oh, we can't have you penalizing one of our little white sons because he did something careless. Oh, he's just a kid. Oh, he didn't know. He was just. You can't even do that here. And now you go into a foreign country and acting a fool. Take them lashes and then go on somewhere.
And hopefully you learn your lesson. And
Right.
see, actually, what could have prevented it if you were getting your ass whipped beforehand uh, instead of waiting until you got grown. That probably would have helped you out. So that's
Oh,
just
he did
my
a lot of
opinion.
damage. So the dude's name was Michael Peter Fay. He was sentenced to 6 strokes of a cane in Singapore in '94 for theft of road signs, vandalizing 18 cars over a 10-day period,
Mm.
and yeah, and I think we're still strained from them because of that. He was in prison for 4 months, but he was eventually released. So yeah.
Well,
Um, so I think they did. The U.S. said I guess the number of cane strokes in Faye's sentence was reduced from 6 to 4 after U.S. officials requested leniency, and he was caned on May 5th of '94. So he got 4 lashes. Hmm.
mm.
They
Yeah,
won't do that best no more.
he didn't have the right because I know when I was in school, um, we had some principals that really cared about us, uh, or some teachers that really cared about us, that wanted us to succeed in life and be something. Um, and certain teachers, especially when it came down to the black students, it was like, hey, you ain't finna come up here acting a fool. I'm gonna whoop you, and I'm gonna call your
Exactly.
parents and let you know I'll whoop you, and then you're gonna get another whooping.
Exactly.
So we had a teacher like that, Mr. Gindraff. Um, he actually end up, you get in trouble, you did not want to go see him. He was the wood shop principal, so he made his own boys. I'm like, man, I can't do it. But it's either that or get a call home, and then you get another whooping. So, um, but I appreciate those teachers that done that, because it changed a lot of people's lives. I know everybody didn't go on the right path, but still, it did change a lot of people's lives during that time. So, um,
Yeah, especially how, preparing us to work harder so that we won't have attention, the negative attention put upon us because, in the world, we're all, come out the womb villains. We're already
exactly,
villains, all because we're darker skinned.
exactly. Now, I know you said that was from 1990 or 80.
94,
Okay, but
94.
let's go back to a couple of years ago. The Olympian
Uh-huh.
uh, that did some stuff overseas and end up uh,
What
him
was
and his
his name?
buddies
He
got
was a swimmer,
arrested.
right? It was the
I
swimmer.
believe he was. Him and his buddy vandalized something and then said they was robbed or something.
Uh-huh. He pulled
Basically
a
lied.
small, a just say.
Mhm, yeah, basically lied and saying that this happened, that happened, and it was basically all a lie. But see, he felt like his white privilege was going to work over in another country. They don't care about that. You destroying their stuff. That's why it's so important for you to know the laws of these
Ryan
different
Lochte.
countries.
That was
Yeah,
him.
yeah, Ryan. He's not the one that participated
Yeah.
in January 6th. Was I know it was
No,
an
that was
Olympic athlete.
another Olympian. He was like old Olympian. It wasn't like a current. I
No,
think
he
he was an
wasn't that
old
old.
school.
He wasn't
I
that
think he was
old.
like
Going,
from back, not like back in the day, but he was like
yeah,
not one of the new younger crops of students. I think he was at least 40 or 50.
I don't think he was that old because I don't know.
The
I
dude
don't
that
know.
was at the I'll
At the
Google.
White House with his USA
Let me see.
jacket on.
US
While you
old.
find that, I'm a. Keith Johnson said, "What's going on?" Keith Johnson, straight out of Longview, Texas, um, said, "We paddled in school and it didn't kill us. I became a better man in life due to discipline." Uh, that's so true. Now I did one time get into some issues, and I answered my mama the wrong way. I
Yeah,
started
he's
shaking
40.
her. Oh, you 40?
So Cleet Keller, like nobody
Okay,
knows him though. But he
okay.
won
Y-
some medals in the Summer Olympics in the swimming. Um, but yeah, he's 40.
Have you been sentenced yet?
I don't know.
Because it's so many people been arrested, um, and somebody like that, they'll get swept up under the rug because he's a patriot. Uh,
I'm
he's
not sure when this story was. I think this is in September. It says he pled guilty, um, and was sentenced to 8 months.
okay. 8 months. Do we have to serve the full 8 months? Oh, who knows?
It's
Uh,
like five trillion 11T pages to this thing.
it's a nonstop. That's kind of like the guy that is out of Texas. I forgot his name, but he was the first one to stand trial for a jury in front of a jury, and They found him guilty. Now you want a retrial? No, 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 no. Why are you going to spend some more of our tax money?
Like for
You
real.
you made that choice. Now you want a retrial? No, hell no.
You're more guilty.
Exactly. So the thing is, they waiting for him to be sentenced to know exactly how much time he's gonna get. And I'm like this: if you were so proud to stand up for this, why not? Matter of fact, there's another reason why they should have held each one of them without releasing them. One person, and I cannot think of his name. I seen this story a couple of weeks ago. Um, he left the country, fled the country, and I want to say he might be somewhere in Russia or somewhere. Um, they allowed him to go there. So the thing is, and he's accused of the January 6th, taking part in the January 6th attack on Capitol Hill. But he fled the country under the radar.
Mhm.
He made it
And,
all the way to another country.
and going back to this clique killer,
Uh-huh.
this dude, it gets better
Uh-oh.
or worse. So not only did he plead guilty to taking part in the January 6th riots, but
Uh-oh.
in a bitter custody battle in dispute, he pinned his ex-wife against a wall after their separation and asked if she had ever heard of marital rape. Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, there's his mugshot. Yeah, threatening and trying to rape and pillage. Like, what's what's wrong with people? And this is
Hey.
your U.S. Olympian, okay, from 2004.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it looked like he was arrested for that. It's just a whole bunch of stuff on this dude. Like I'm still scrolling.
Oh Lord, you get out that rabbit hole.
I went down
Get
the
out while
rabbit
you
hole.
can.
I was
No,
like,
get
this
out
is a
of
winner.
it. Get out that rabbit hole. Don't
This is
do it.
listen, it's still going.
No, get out. Get
I
out while you
can't.
can.
It's like I love my crime shows, my ID channel shows. This is
You
gonna be
going
on a
too
channel,
deep.
one of my shows one day.
You going too deep. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Yep.
Don't do it.
And then
Uh-oh. I tried to warn you. I told you get out of it. No, you don't want to
apparently there was an
listen.
incident at a zoo, and he brought his BB gun to a park and shot road signs from a window of their moving car. So yeah, okay, that was it. I got to the end of the.
So he's just
He's just no good. Like, but in U.S. eyes, he's a upstanding citizen, and we got to protect our white men because they're so delicate. They're delicate
yeah,
flowers. We can't crush
told
their
you not
egos.
told you not to do it, but you did it.
I did, but it got
You
good.
did.
I couldn't
Yeah.
like
Um
Lay's potato chips. Just can't have one. You just got to keep going.
uh so his wife said he struggled with mental health issue and her company. Is that his wife? Well, see, now you got me going down the damn rabbit hole. See, that's what I'm talking
Fun.
about.
Come
I
in the pool with me. Come jump in with me. It's fun. It's fun in the water.
no, you got me going down this rabbit hole. Mm-mm. Uh, the radio said I never got in much trouble as a kid. I thought you went straight to jail if you messed up. Shh.
Exactly.
I
And what was
tell
that
you,
movie with Sean? Is it Sean Penn? Where he was in that boys? Was it boys? No, it was something. He was in the like a
talking about
juvenile.
colors.
No, it
Oh,
was before that. Now I know one of y'all know what Auntie. Do you know which movie that was with Sean Sean Penn? He was like a teenager and he ended up assaulting somebody and ended up in a group home, not a group home, in one of those juvenile detention centers. And it was just harsh. But between that and the girl from The Exorcist, she was in some when she was 14 and they raped her with a broomstick. I was
Oh
like, I
Lord.
am not getting in trouble. This is, see, movies back then, they didn't have like the ratings they had now. Like that was
So
probably
didn't.
PG-13.
Well, I'm gonna answer radio question real quick because um I for one reason I didn't get in trouble because it was a different time. See, the neighborhood took care of the neighborhood. So if you did something down the street, you was finna get your butt whooped before you got home. And then don't let the next neighbor find out about it because they gonna whoop you too. Then you mess around and get home and um, you're gonna turn around and get another whooping from your mama.
It wasn't Jodie
So
Foster, Auntie.
uh so it was that's the type of environment I spent growing up where the neighborhood controlled the neighborhood. You weren't finna go out here and act a fool and no consequences. And then my mama, she was old school. Back in the days, they used to sell penny candies at the store, 7-Eleven, all of that. Well, if you went in there and grabbed something, she finna make you go back and take it back, apologize, and then turn around and pay for it. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Thank God I never been to jail. Whew. Um,
But
thank
the movie I
God.
was referencing is Bad Boys with Sean Penn. I recommend it because it is actually really, really good. And then it was Linda Blair who was in. It was called Born Innocent. I recommend that. I think it's on Amazon because I recently watched it and it's still it was
Said bad
like
boys.
mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me see if it's still on there.
But Born Innocent is on Tubi. Looks like. Um,
Said
but yeah,
Amazon.
it scars you for life. I was like, and you know, back in the day, they didn't have the regulations that they have now. Like the guards could put hands on you and then you know put you in a cell with Bubba Ray just for sport.
Mm.
Like ain't nobody got time for that. I was like,
And see, I grew up in a different time. I'm a 70s baby. So it was completely different. The time where we had to grow up with children of Atlanta, and that was pretty scary too. Or walking home from school and you see the Klansmen hanging out at the Burger King in the hood. So having to witness all of that, that's not a good. What? I guess I need to change my batteries. Uh, it's not working right. Um, Radio said Bad Boys came out in '83, I think.
yeah.
I was trying to pull it up on Amazon Prime in mine.
Yeah, no, it's that one is on YouTube, but you have to pay for it. But Born Innocent with Linda Blair is on
Okay.
Tubi.
Oh, on Tubi. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it may be on other channels. I extended it. Oh, Bad Boy, you have to pay on Amazon Prime for Bad Boys. It's $3.99.
no,
So
that's
these
not
are
too
all the
bad.
forums you can watch Bad Boys. And
Okay.
that's a little late. Him.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
gonna have.
that's the dude that plays like a racist in every movie that we watched. It's
Hmm,
like got some of everybody in it. Like everybody is in this movie. It's awesome. And
well,
then Born Innocent. Let's see. Oh, it's on Amazon Prime for
oh,
free.
it is.
Yeah, Born Innocent is on Amazon Prime. That's how I think I watched it. And that's
Oh, okay.
young Linda Blair in the shower, about to get assaulted.
Mm.
There's
Well,
the broomstick. Oh.
oh Lord, oh
Scarred me for
Lord.
life. I was like, I don't want to leave. I'm never gonna be a runaway. I'm gonna be good.
Now,
Good adjacent.
okay, you making a eyes like.
You know,
Mhm.
I found loopholes. You know.
Oh, okay. Um, Speaking of that, and I know. Look, I'm just leave that story alone because it'll run me hot.
Oh
Um,
Lord.
no, because I'm talking about the 62, 63-year-old pastor that married the 18-year-old girl. Um, and I guess it was a school or something at the church, uh, and he groomed her. uh, According to family and people that knows the story real good, is that he groomed her at an early age, and as soon as she turned 18, he married her, which is sickening. A grown old ass man, 62, 63 years old, out here marrying a child. That's sick. And and I know I'm married, but there's some pretty nice looking 60-year-old women. You can find nobody your own age, or is it the fact that they know you ain't shit? I'm
I
just
mean, that's what
asking.
it is because you see it a lot, even in our age range. Like they want young tenderonis that don't know any better, that they can mold, and then they complain and say, "I can't." All these women are the same. Well, you keep dipping in a kiddie pool, you're gonna get the same attitude and the same personalities. You got to go up. And their biggest complaint is, well, mature women have more baggage. Well, Tramp, you got baggage. You probably got like two mortgages, two ex-wives, and a bunch of children. Like, let's
It's
let's compare bags.
well, it's not that mature women have more baggage. It's just they are mature and they
Right,
don't
like they
have
ain't
time
putting up
for
with
these
your stuff,
games. And
like at all.
you start hitting 60, and you like, shoot, you never know when your time coming. You gotta enjoy it while you can. But they not gonna deal with the BS that you're doing. And the pastor, now I heard an interview from the niece of this pastor. I sent it to you the other day. I know. I already know. You didn't listen to it. But um, I listened to the interview and she was like, mm-mm. And now they waiting to see when his baby gonna be born to see if it was before she was 18.
Probably not, because especially you get married and in a relationship with, it's been going on for a minute.
Yeah, it been going on and
It's
it's
going
sad.
it's been going on since probably Sunday school. Like
Yeah,
he groomed her from a young age. That's how it starts.
which is not good at all.
No.
Um,
Oh, and then Auntie, the movie you're thinking of is The Accused. Just going back to that. And
the
that was in the
accused.
80s. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was based on true events.
Mm,
That's
that's
on Amazon too. According to this.
but you need to
It's actually a good movie.
send me the name of them, and I'll try to make time to um look at them. I try.
Whatever. Probably
Exactly.
end up doing what you did the other day and
Uh-uh.
fun doing some things.
No, no.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But people
Lights
been
out.
asking me all week, and they like, Kurt Dog, are you gonna go do a show about that slap? And I said, a lot of people have mixed feeling. Oh, Radio said he went to school with the short blonde guy in the movie The Accused. Okay.
Now I gotta watch the
Um,
movie to see who it is.
exactly. Let him make a couple of coins
I
off
haven't
of
seen
the
that since I
royalty.
was like, I don't even know, like a teenager.
Um, so people been asking me if I'm gonna do a show about the slap, and I'm gonna say this. I told my wife Sunday because whenever the Oscars come on, I have I don't never pay attention,
Same.
and I told my wife, I said, you know what, this is okay. I said this is probably the first time I really paid attention to the Oscars from the beginning.
Well, I
I'm
was
like,
still watching crime shows.
well, you know, she's not my biggest s- I don't even know how to say this where it could be innocent. Well, she's not Regina King, but Regina Hall is cool too.
Uh-huh.
So
She's
because she
funny. I
was
like
on
her.
there. Yeah, so because Regina Hall was on there, but my first Regina King, Brenda. But anyway, um, that's after my wife. So, uh, but either way, um, I'm like, oh, Regina Hall, Wonder Sight. Oh, this is gonna be kind of interesting. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
watching
that
it,
still didn't pull me in.
but I end up. I think I went to the restroom or something, and all of a sudden, I thought my wife cut the TV off. I said, "What's what's going on?" She said, "Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock." I said, "Huh?" So we rewind it. I said, at first I thought it was fake, and then when he sat down and said what he said, I said, "No, that ain't fake."
Yeah, my sister, as soon as it happened, because I guess she was watching it, sent me a text saying, "Does this look real to you?" She had to record it from her television. I was like, "Yeah, Chris went about 2 inches back, and he looked like he was about to swing." Like if you look at Chris, for a moment he was like, "No, no, let's ride this out." Like I'm at the Oscars. I just got back on the scene. Like he was like, you could see him processing it. And but yeah, I was like, come on now. Like they're all comedians. Well, not so much Will, he tried and failed, but he did the same stuff. So that joke to me wasn't even a bad joke. And it made no reference to her ailment. Like I didn't even know she had alopecia or whatever. She's always kept her hair short. Like she's had her short hair short since the freaking 90s. And it just
Well,
kept getting shorter. I thought it was just, trend that she would dye it colors and do whatever, like her daughter. She kept it short and dyed it. But that G.I. Jane joke was not even an insult. Like, if anything, I'd be like, yeah, and run me my coins because she was a badass woman. And
well, I think um because I have seen her talk about it for at least the last 6 months or so. Even when she cut her hair off, she was talking about she was going to do it and all of this. But I thought pretty much everybody would know. But the biggest thing, I'm mixed on it. The timing wasn't right.
correct.
I say that it wasn't right. Not because, and this is what get me. I hear a lot of people say, "Well, it wasn't right because it was a black producer of the show," and that have nothing to do
We'll
with
we'll
it.
never be asked to do anything else again now.
Well, that have nothing to do with about who was
Yeah.
producing it.
Right.
I just feel like it wasn't necessary at that time.
Well, I mean, come on, that's still violence. He had no right to put hands on some man who just used words that he took offense to. And he was laughing.
He
He
was
was
laughing
laughing from the gut. And
until
then
he
as soon
seen
as
Jada
Jada
face.
gave him that side eye, then it changed. And and this is what gets me. Jada done talked all about the business in the bedroom, her hoo ha, her child's hoo ha, like all this stuff. And this is where you draw the line and where you want Will to get up and flex for you. Girl, bye. Like, this is where, like, girl, you done put all your stuff out there and then wants to get on Instagram talking about, oh, well, I really don't have a problem with people talking about my alopecia. Then why did you have your man go up there and smack a bitch? like, like you're saying two different things. And then before the Oscars, they said she was dressed for chaos. Like they were starting something to begin with. But here's where they think that it's all a hoax because like they put this out there They're all profiting from this. Chris
Yeah,
is sold out in all his shows. We're talking about Will and Jada until we're all blue in the face. Like I was already sick of Will and Jada since that August thing, that whole entanglement situation, and I didn't even care about that.
I didn't
You
either.
know, like
I
I'm
even
just
said on the
tired of
show.
them.
I even said on the show that's their business. They ain't got shit to do with me. But once again, people want to talk about it. But my whole thing is, I think the timing was wrong.
Right?
And
He could have
but then
been at
again,
an
we
after
don't.
party and be like, "Listen here, man, let's talk," because I didn't appreciate it. Behind, because they were going to the same after parties.
And then on top of that, it was like we don't know the conversation they've had in the past because remember when
Yeah, they do
Jada
have
was
a history.
boycotting. Yeah, when Jada was boycotting the Oscars, um, Chris made a lot of jokes about it. So we don't know what their
But they've worked
conversation
on
been
like
like.
3 movies since then together.
Oh, they finna work on a couple more too.
Like
That's gonna be
they
the
did,
payout
they
for
done
it.
something. And word on the street is they have history beyond that because they actually went on a date back in the day, and it didn't work out well. And Jada said it was one of the worst dates she ever been on or something.
Oh, so he bitter.
They've got history, and so this has been brewing. But again, this was not the time or place to inflict violence. There were children in the audience. And as somebody who's like trying to change his image, and Mr. Hollywood, he's the black, he's the token of Hollywood. Like he can do no wrong, and then here you go messing it up. You about to mess up your coin, sir,
On the night
over
you give
a
me your
joke.
biggest award.
Right. And we didn't even see any, like, pay attention to any of the other milestones that happened on that show.
Shout
Like
out to
the first Deaf
Questlove.
movie that came out, which I meant to see because I think my deaf husband was on it or produced it or something. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
No, okay. Shout out to Questlove for winning his award, his Oscar.
Right. And then
Um,
the honorary award, Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. See, all
We
those
we
years
missed all of this.
people talked about Samuel, talking about mother and all of this all the time. It done paid off for him. He can't. He's the only one that can say it good. So
Like for
yeah,
real. So we're overlooking all these good moments, all because Will got short tempered and in his feelings and felt like this was the time I need to flex.
I'm like
Like,
this. They need to come together, work it out, whatever they got to do. Let's move forward because it's way too many black on black crimes. Um, at
and this
some,
just aids it, because now they're like, oh, see, there we go.
yeah,
Even though there's white on white crime
all
every
the
day,
time.
all the time, but we don't label it as that. It's just, violence, or, oh, somebody snapped. Oh, somebody was assaulted. You never hear is white, or, this man kept her imprisoned under the basement and ate her bones. Like, we don't see that. They're either serial killers, but when it comes to any kind of black on black crime, it's black on black.
They take it out of
And we need to
proportion.
take that out of the vocabulary because everybody commits crime equally.
Everybody commit crimes. Ain't no crime greater than the other one.
Yes, exactly. And
A
there's no
crime
color
is
to
a
it.
crime,
Exactly.
regardless
Yeah.
of who did it.
And like
So
psychologists say, that you most likely will commit a crime with your liked peers. So white people there, committing, these acts of murder, or, serial murders with their like selves, beings. And then black people, that's what they know and that's the environment they're in. They're gonna most likely commit crimes in black areas because that's where they are.
exactly.
So it doesn't matter, it's on all sides.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that they try to justify things and say, "Oh, it's the black community and all of that," but um, that's kind of like they 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 highlight what goes on in the black community when it's
Right.
dealing with another race, but what
To
people
keep
don't
us
realize
down here.
exactly, what they don't realize, even in the best of neighborhood, there's crimes going on among them, embezzlement. Oops,
Well, I mean,
white
but
collar
again,
crime.
there's
They don't want to talk
murders
about
every day in the news,
murders.
gated communities. And I'm like, they white, but we don't highlight that. It's just an unfortunate situation. Murder,
Um,
suicide.
exactly. Um, Radio said maybe Jada resents Will success on some level. She trash talk him too much on media platform.
She does.
Well,
She talked about his that he wasn't really satisfying her. Like, and I was like, wait, we talking about this now? This is why, like, I don't watch the Red Table. Like, I watched it one time just to see what it was about. It's not for us. They're catering to a specific demographic because they're all about it. And I'm just like, you airing all of this, and this is what triggered you, the GI Jane joke that is dated that most Gen Zs and millennials don't even know the reference to.
mm,
Even though I recommend that movie because that was an awesome movie.
and what was the name of it again?
GI Jane
Oh, G.I.
with
Jane.
Demi
Okay.
Moore. Love that
Okay.
movie. The end was amazing.
Miss Donna said, no sin is greater than the other one. You right.
Exactly. Sin is
You
sin.
are right. Sin is a sin. No matter how big, how small, you still sin.
Yep.
So, um, but the thing is, whatever is going on in a marriage, hopefully they work it out. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it to me that relationship is like toxic. They just need to part ways or get some real counseling and not just air their business out to the masses. Like they need to work on some things before they start airing their dirty laundry.
and
Like
and
I'm over it.
and and Will and Jada, if y'all need a counselor, I have a couple of counselors I can refer to you. Uh, yeah, you could go back and look at the shows in the past and dealing with counseling and stuff like that, and all their information is on there. You could contact them um, and get some real help. Not somebody who gonna be agreeing with everything that you doing, because I ain't gonna lie. When I started going to counsel, I was upset because I was like, "Hold on, you supposed to be
Be on my
uh
side.
exactly." They don't make a difference, and get some friends that would be honest with you, because my friends, they don't play. They'll call you out in a heartbeat. Uh, my brother, Reverend Jerry Smith, um, yeah, he'll call you out in a heartbeat, but he's right. He look straight at you. I call, be like, man, this, that, or whatever. What you do? I'm like, you my friend. What you ask me what I did?
Right.
So, but shout out to him, my great brother, big brother. Uh, and all my friends that actually take a stand. So, um, Radio said one of the female comedian made a joke about their open marriage earlier in the night at the Oscar. Uh, I think Regina
Yeah, I think it was Regina.
had said something.
But it
Oh,
was
she
like
had,
when she called the men up and she's like, since y'all have an open relationship, it was something to that effect. But it was on the slide.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, live your life. It's your life. Do it how you want to do it. What goes on in y'all marriage? That's between y'all and your red table talk, or whatever it's called. But do you live your life? That's all I can say. Live your life, and hopefully, it, whatever satisfaction you trying to get, hopefully you getting it. But you ain't got to put all your business out in the street. That's all I'm saying. Um, but um, I want to talk about this. I just sent you a private message. That you get it?
Mhm.
Okay. I've seen this very disturbing video going around on social media this week. Um, Two kids in a restroom, and the young lady playing with a gun.
Yeah, it's like a custom handgun.
It was a gun that had a long extended clip to it. playing with a gun, and she
Doing an Instagram live or something.
mentioned that I would bust you, and the gun accidentally went off, shot the person in the head. The young lady fell back, and as she fell back, it appears she picked the gun up and shot herself. Now the family is saying no, they both was accident. My question is,
Well, the cops are saying it was a murder suicide,
yes,
and the family's saying it was an accident. But you could see in the video they had no tension. They were just flexing with this
playing
custom
around with a
handgun,
gun.
and it had apparently a hair trigger. And like you said, shot her cousin or whomever in the head. She goes down because she's panicked. She goes. It looked like she went to pick up the gun, and you see her. It went off. They said she picked it up from like the nozzle or something, and it shot her in the head or something. And you see her head go back in the video. But it was unfortunate accident. But no way was it a murder suicide. Um,
It, it's kids playing with guns. My question is, how did they get access to a gun, and how did they get access to a gun like that?
Yeah, exactly. But also another thing, because my boss and I were talking about social media, like how, on Facebook, I can't call you a big head without getting an alert saying that goes against our bullying policy, da 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 da. We're going to take this away. You know what I mean? Like any little thing. But places like TikTok and Instagram, you see videos all the time where these kids 16 and under are being over sexualized to these songs or playing with weapons and stacks of money. Like that's a trend. But there needs to be some moderation going on where keywords or certain things are filtered out to avoid this situation, because they wouldn't have done that if they hadn't seen other people flexing and doing things with that. Because we already know parents are just kind of doing their things and they're the same age as their kids, and the kids are just kind of raising themselves, you know. So the gun was probably, just on somebody's dresser and just out, or they were, the family member was flexing with the gun because again, that was a custom gun and it should have been in a safe. But you know us, we don't really do stuff like that, and we need to when there are kids around because you never
Exactly.
know. And now we have two dead teenagers who, had their whole lives ahead of them over a freaking Instagram live.
12 and 14 years old, life is over. And that's why I say all the time, for our artists, I understand you want to put out what's selling to become popular, but doing the thing that's going to cause harm for someone, because people are paying attention to the lyrics that you put out. And I'm not knocking nobody art, but I wish we can have more songs like Self Destruction. Um, I keep saying, I wish somebody would come together and do We're All in the Same Game again.
Well,
Uh,
just songs with positive messages.
Positive meaning.
Like
Um,
now it's just all about whopping and flapping and shaking things. It's like ain't nobody got time for that.
Playing the
Mm-mm.
piano on
And
the
and
Oscar with your butt.
right,
Uh,
like ain't nobody like I still like I don't listen to anything beyond like before two or after 2000. Like there's a few things that I'll hear, like I love my BTS, but I heard them by accident. But
mhm.
most of the time, I stick to the 80s and 70s, and beyond, you know. But
Well,
because it's like the songs today, it's just like it makes no sense.
yeah, that was a sad situation with that incident, and hopefully, for the family members that was there, I know reading the story, the police is trying to find out who owned the gun. See, that's another thing.
Like if you
Like,
don't know who and it's not registered,
exactly. So now possibly that the gun May be stolen, may not be stolen. I don't know.
Or illegally acquired and
As,
customed.
yes. So the thing is, please, if you're gonna have guns in the house, keep them away from the kids. Lock them up. Get you a safe. Do not just have a gun, carrying a gun illegal. And what I mean about that, even here in Dallas, the young, I think he was 3 years old, that was killed. And the mother said it was due to road rage, but there was no evidence of road rage. Um, and they later found the gun in the glove box. She had 3 kids in the car. None of them was in the car seat. Stop at a donut shop. 3 year old shot and killed. Don't know how. Story haven't came out, but she was. I believe she was arrested after she was seen driving reckless and had a warrant out, so they arrested her. And the father was arrested for illegally carrying a gun. I guess he just had it. I don't know for sure, but he was arrested. The wife purchased the gun, but he was carrying it, and they said it was illegal carrying a gun. So the thing is, when you have small kids like this, do everything you can to protect those kids. Do not leave the guns where they can have access to it, because what's going to happen is it's going to be a deadly ending. uh, Not necessarily deadly, but it's going to be a tragic end at the end of it, because here it is, they can get shot and be paralyzed or whatever. Um, just be mindful of that.
And also pay
Um,
attention to what your kids are watching and then talk to them about what they're looking at, and let them know, hey, this is just all for show. It's not real, so that they don't, it doesn't glamorize that lifestyle, and so that they won't mirror it. So, because I think that's what a lot how we get into a lot of these situations. Negative things are glamorized, and kids start flexing because they see, oh well, they're doing it, and then like in this household, the gun was just out, and since it was custom, it was probably just out, and they were showing it off, and it was accessible to the kids.
and they was having a party at the time.
Right. So the fact that they were able to get away and take this gun, and it sounded like it was a lot of people in the background.
Yeah.
So I mean, somebody uncle probably showing it around, put it down, got his potato salad, and then they walked off with it. Yeah, let me borrow. We're gonna do an Instagram live.
Now, I know you may not remember this, but I know Miss Donna and Miss Karen, they may remember it. But back in the 80s, here in Dallas, we had a lot of people dying from playing Russian roulette.
Yes,
So I'm like, you willing to take a chance, put
over a
a
bet.
bullet in a gun, and hoping that bullet don't land where it would kill you. But that happened quite a bit during the 80s.
Yeah, that was a trend. I was like, listen, I'm not risking my life over
Exactly.
$20.
So it's not worth it. And the thing is,
Didn't that
we,
happen recently at the gas station? That woman, like he was gonna pay for her gas or something, and she ended up getting shot in the head or something.
I
Like this
don't
was
know,
last year,
possibly. I don't.
or it was like $5. It was something. It was something ridiculous, and she ended up losing her life. And I was like, over $5.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we have to be careful what we put out on social media, because someone is always watching. Kids are watching at what we do. And at some point, we got to ask ourselves, do you want someone to follow you the wrong way or the right way? I'm always about trying to do things the right way, because even on this platform, we're going to try to give you the truth every time. Now, we might joke about the truth, but we're going to make sure we give you the right information out. Because if not, if somebody listened to this show and we putting out wrong information and they follow our leads, that would kill me. I'm just literally saying that would really hurt me that I caused someone to do the wrong thing. So pay attention to your kids, talk to your kids, stop allowing social media to raise your kids. That's how we need to do. That's what we need to do is bring families back together, sit down and talk, have dinner together, and have discussion. So, um, but Miss Risky, I know I went over again. uh, Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
Okay, good. Uh, okay, good. But let the people know where they can find you.
Not in these streets, that's for sure. No, but you can find me online on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at RSKEE. You can send me a message at rskee at yahoo.com. And then you can check out my works on rskeebooks.com.
It's not yet. It's not yet radio. Not yet. June 13th. That's a national holiday. Uh, but I thank you. June 13th. Uh, turn up, turn up, turn
I
up.
love turnips.
um, Thank you, Miss Donna. But you can find me mainly Instagram and TikTok. I look at that quite a bit. I haven't been doing much on there, but I do. Um, you send me a message, I get it. Might be 2 or 3 days late, but I will get it. Instagram is the best way because it will alert me that I have a message, and I normally would respond pretty quick. Um, but we are gonna do a much better job. Uh, um, we're gonna do a much better job. I'm gonna do a much better job in doing more shows. I have just a little bit of free time, not a whole bunch, but so I'm gonna trying to work some things out to do more shows and get back on track because I miss when I'm not able to talk to the family and have a good time. So we will be back. I will be back Monday night. Monday night, 8 p.m. Um, Radio said I thought it was in March. Sorry, don't want to rush the big 50. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. But it is a blessing. I'm not afraid of my age because when I was coming up, we wasn't sure if we was gonna make it to 18. So to be on the on the back step of 50, trying to get there, hey, it's a blessing. So until Monday night, I will see each and every one of you later. The longest the good Lord say the same. Sorry about last night. I know we was gonna do a show last night, but we had some major technical issues.
We
I had some issues. I had some issues. Um, but that won't happen again though. What?
I say that.
It's not gonna happen again. Um, but I appreciate you, Miss Risky. I appreciate you. She she this is my little sister. I don't care what y'all say. I don't know what all I said to her last night, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you. She was like, "Where's your wife?" I don't know. But no, but we're back on track now. We got it good. Um, One day we'll tell that story, just won't be today. Why you frowning all up at me?
I didn't say anything. I'm just.
Oh, okay. Well, until Monday night, love each and every one of you. Until then, thank you all for tuning in. Please tell a friend. Please make sure you click the notification. I'm not going to set certain days to come on because things are happening, but My goal is to be here Monday night. Click the notification for you can get the notification once I set up a show and we come on. So until then, I love each and every one of you. Peace.